Alright, hello Robert. I actually just realized this now, but I have not made a review video for your lightsaber like I did with Liam and Amanda's, so that's what this is now. Starting a little late, but whatever, right? So long as it gets done. The blade is just behind me on the bed. We're in the living situation that you would know about at the time of watching this video. So I thought I'd make an update since there's something to update besides the chassis and electronics from your other from the stage that the other lightsaber was in. The electronics that are necessary for your lightsaber's upgrade have been transferred over. You said you're okay with the pommel and the D-ring and everything like that. And over here we have the D-ring hook for you to attach. It's the same color as your trench coat. I'm going to be getting you the Nano-Biscotte and a... Oh, right, you don't need a power extender because of the color choices you made. A white illuminated switch. It's either going to be black or white, depending on what's available at the time of the purchase. But it will be white ringed. Then the tri-cree white with white flash on clash. Very you. But I thought I would get this special blade plug because I got a 3D printed blade plug for my lightsaber, which just looks incredible. And I thought your lightsaber should have something similar. So I ordered one from Shapeways. I got started on it a little bit when I realized I should probably do a review. That's what all that copper wire is in the background. I purchased an arc reactor blade plug for you. So this is the black bit where the copper wire is in between all these pieces. I'll leave a photo of the arc reactor up for you right here. And this piece right here is 3D printed in brass. This one is just clear plastic. This one is black plastic, obviously. And this tube that it'll all fit in and be glued into and everything is the tube that will fit into your lightsaber so that it all fits nice and snug. The next clip, like in a few seconds, will show the finished blade plug. Okay, Robert, here's your completed blade plug. This is the special edition to your lightsaber. It's the arc reactor. So there's white plastic, clear plastic, or not clear, but like white plastic, and then there's black plastic, and I took some of that copper wire and just wrapped it around until I felt it was adequate. And then I had the brass piece in the middle. I've crazy glued everything together except for the black piece onto the clear piece, but the brass piece is over top of that, so you'd have to like break the whole thing to take it all apart, and I don't recommend you do that. This is only really to make the lightsaber look kind of cool with when the blade's not in. Okay, and this next section shows that the parts are here. We have the lens, the heat sink, the LED. I've checked them, they're all white. The heat sink that the LED sits on, the Nano-Biscotte soundboard, the resistor that goes onto that switch right there, black anodized with a white ring around it. So when you turn on your lightsaber, it's going to light up white along with your blade. SD card that'll hold the 3 sound fonts for your lightsaber, chassis with the battery, recharge port, and speaker system. I also took the liberty of attaching the electrical tape to the D-ring so it doesn't rattle as much. The only rattling you'll hear is from the plate that the D-ring is held onto. Yeah, so within the next couple of hours, your lightsaber will be complete with 3 sound fonts, white blade with a white flash on clash. Looking forward to it. And I say the next few hours, but for you, it's the next second. That segue, though. Okay, so here's your completed lightsaber. I want to tell you this now. I tried to build this as practically as possible, but I also wanted to add a few elements in it that are very you. So there's a piece of cardboard in here lining the inside. I'll show you a little bit later on when I show you how to recharge the saber. But that is to keep the speaker from touching the screws over here, because that's bad, and I should have cued into that years ago. when I first gave you this saber. It might come up a little blue on camera. It is for me, at least, but I assure you this is a white illuminated switch, and it's a 12 millimeter on a guarded switch hole, so it's you can't press it very easily. You actually have to dig your thumb in there to push the button. So as I said a few seconds ago, I put some electrical tape on the inside so it doesn't rattle as much. The only rattling you should hear is from the actual plate itself, and maybe from the LED if the blade isn't in, because I gave the LED and the chassis enough wiring room that if the LED module is loose, you can shake it out and retwist it. And with the chassis, if one of the wires popped out, it gives me enough room if you send it back being like, a wire popped out, what do I do? Then I have enough room to work with without having a stroke. Okay, so I put 3 sound fonts on here, and by the way, here's your completed blade plug. This is what it looks like. This was $110. Enjoy. Please don't break. This is the one part of your lightsaber that is very, very fragile and very, very expensive. So anyway, from here we have 3 sound fonts. First is Shoto. It's got a bit of a pulse and a bit of a flicker. And as per request, a white blade with a white flash on clash, because Robert. It also has silent mode. You just have to wait for the first beep and then let go. Still have all the effects, just no sound, for if you want to turn it on at night and not wake everybody up with the sound.
Legacy, Imperial Knight.
So this is the Imperial Knight sound font. This one is my personal favorite. By the way, Shoto was a shorter lightsaber. It's Yoda's lightsaber length, so yeah. So I'm pretty sure all the sound fonts have the same blade effect, so feel free to change that whenever you want. And this one is Savant. I looked at the definition, and I thought that this font fits you perfectly. So we're gonna go to the next part of the video, which shows you how to charge it. There are specific instructions, yes. Okay, Robert, so here's the part of the video where we show you how to recharge the lightsaber. For reference, there's the cardboard I spoke of. It'll keep the speaker from touching any of the screws, even though I sanded them down quite a bit. So right over here, once you take the pommel off, slide it out until you see that hole. Oops, don't knock the blade off the table. Right over here, there's a turnstile kill key. Feel free to let me know if you want this or not. Technically, the soundboard you have has deep sleep, so if you leave it alone for a couple of minutes, it'll conserve battery power for as long as possible. This would be the only thing draining the battery, and it doesn't drain it for very long. Or sorry, it doesn't drain it very much. So like you can still have it by itself for a couple of days before it starts to really show. So let me know if you still want this or not. Right now, it doesn't really serve you as much of a purpose as it would me. You want to pull this out to expose the recharge port, and the charger that I gave you, you plug it in after you plug it into the wall. I had the misfortune of finding out that if you plug it in and then plug it into the wall, it might fry your soundboard. So I fixed the problem, but I'd rather you not go through that experience. So plug it into the wall first, then plug it into the saber. From there, just wait until the light turns green. Should take at max 8 hours to charge the battery completely if the battery's almost dead. The good news about this switch is that the brightness that it shows will give you an indication of how much battery life you have left. And if it's not on at all, the battery is dead. So there's your good news, I suppose. Now, I gave you enough room to pull it out completely, but I would advise you not do that because there's no reason for you to do that. I'm going to put that in properly in a second. Same with the LED. You just pop out the blade or the blade plug, make sure the the screw isn't in the way, and just like slide it out on your own. I'll show you that in a second. So yeah, referencing the cardboard, it's not secured in place by anything more than pressure against the thing. So like if you pull off the pommel and tip it over, the cardboard will fall out. We thought that there should be a piece of your lightsaber loose at any given point to represent you just a little bit.
There I was, back in Omashu, waiting for just the right moment. I didn't know what or when, but I knew I'd know it when I knew it.
So, anyway, as per, like I was going to show you, unscrew that, take that out, and apparently it'll just slide out on its own as well. So, that's that. Slide that out. Just a second. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so that's how far the chassis can come out. It can come out a lot more, and so can the LED, but there is no reason for you to take the chassis out any further than the recharge port, unless you want to change some of the sound fonts, which I don't see any reason why you would, because that's money. And you can always tell me to change them to something that you want before I hand it over to you, and that way you don't have to tinker with it. Because, I don't know, just thought you would like something easy for once in your life. Anyway, so chassis can come out, soundboard works just fine, recharge port, it's all wired up and everything. When this is off, it means the kill key is either turned in such a way that it kills power to the board or the battery's dead. If you don't have a kill key in it, then that'll be your answer. Next clip will show me, we'll show the lightsaber with the blade inside. Hey Robert, so you take the arc reactor blade plug out. You take your blade, slide it down, it'll push against the LED module, push it slightly until you can't push it anymore, be gentle, and then tighten the retention screw. This avoids the LED jiggling back and forth. You're pressuring it between the blade and the switch on the inside. That's why you don't want to push it too far, it might break one of the wires. So. Apparently your blade is always going to move back and forth a little bit, but where is it? Is it? Yeah, it's always going to move back and forth, so it's always going to feel a little loose. But that's normal. Just make sure the retention screw tightens properly. Anyway, so here's the blade. Oh, that's the boot sound. So it was in deep sleep just now. So here's your white blade, with white flash on clash, as per your request. That second beep is the switching to the next sound font. So here's Shoto.
Legacy. Imperial Light.
This one's my personal favorite. And here's Savant for you. I'm going to test this lightsaber out before I give it back to you. I want to make sure that you can actually duel with it before I hand it back. So, just so I'm not giving you something that isn't, like, that can't be used in combat, I want you to be able to use this on May the 4th, so. But I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to. Unless you take the pommel off and start swinging it around, then it's not duel worthy. But you should be fine. This blade plug is very expensive, so if you're coming out with the blade and you plan on rolling around and stuff, I would suggest leaving it at home or entrusting it to one of us to safekeep. Um, that is the most expensive piece. If you lose any of them, just please make sure it's not the metal brass piece. But yeah, I figured because you're the laptop I sold you, you named it Jarvis, I thought an arc reactor blade plug would be accurate. So here's a $110, $120 blade plug. Enjoy, and no, you can't give it back. I mean, you can, but I won't accept it. You should enjoy your lightsaber, and I wanted you to have a blade plug for when you don't have the blade. Like if you take out the blade, stop, slide this on. I usually make sure one of these pins here, 1, 2, 3. I usually make sure one is pointing to this, just to keep everything aligned. But because of the D-ring, that can hang on your belt. The blade plug keeps the LED inside and looks pretty cool lit up as well. So, and I still have your thing. It's on my back though. So whenever you want to pick it up after the next couple of hours, feel free to drop by. If you're in the city and back from my hometown. Anyway, that's the review of your lightsaber, the Initiate Limited Edition version. Sorry, the Dark Initiate Limited Edition version 4, installed with a Nano-Biscotte soundboard, white with white flash on clash. Hope you enjoyed. Peace. Update. It passes the durability test. It functions as a lightsaber. Come pick it up whenever you want.